Welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I want to share with you day 2 or Tuesday of a 5-day series talking about when my wife went away on a business trip. We'll be talking about that right after this.
So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves.
Hey, welcome back to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting. I'll get you caught up. We're going to be talking about Tuesday, the second day of a 5-day trip of my wife being gone. And if you listened to yesterday's podcast, you get a feel of how the week started. It started with her there most of the day. She left late in the afternoon to catch her flight. So Tuesday morning, we left off yesterday at 6:30. Me thinking it was 5:30. And having to get the boys up and out the door within 20 minutes. One for the bus, the other one off to daycare. So I get up, there's kind of a routine. The little one's drinking his milk. His brother, I had the clothes laid out, right? By design, be prepared the night before. He gets his clothes on. We get a little snack in him before he's out the door. He always has breakfast at school, but he does like to have milk or water and something light before he gets out the door. Really rushing, a little bit of chaos. Usually have the support of mom at this time during the day, but get the boys off and going to school. I run a business from home, so I still have all of my clients, all of my responsibilities. I have to record podcasts. I have to upload them. I have to serve my clients. Listen, if we talk about the hats, right? Moms have a ton of hats. I am a work from home dad, so I laugh jokingly sometimes. I think my wife doesn't think I work because I'm highly involved at my son's school, and there's lots of activities going on as I am on the PTA board. And like it's tons going on this week that needed to be addressed and taken care of. So all of this is going on, but we'll get to the parenting aspect. I get through my work day. Things are fine. Both kids get to school. The other one comes home on the bus earlier at 2:30. He's like, "Dad, I had a really good time yesterday going to the park. Can we go to the park again?" And I'm thinking this is a great opportunity for me to allow him to go get some exercise, do his thing. The day before, we went for a hike through the woods. I said, "Listen, you got about 45 minutes before we have to go pick up your brother." He goes, he finds some friends. They're building a fort, playing hide and go seek tag. They're doing their thing. I'm fortunate where I get to utilize this time and upload videos, to YouTube that I had recorded earlier in the day. I get a few of those uploaded while he is playing and doing his thing. But I just found joy in him having joy and getting excited about being at the park and enjoying his time. So we get done, we go pick up his brother, and it's Tuesday. And I'm thinking to myself, please, the baby got little sleep last night. He was up, he went back to sleep, but hopefully tonight is going to be a better night. We have our normal evening routine. Baby comes home, he gets fed, his brother gets fed. I'm trying to whip something up simple for myself. Everyday things at this point, loading. Again, routine. I have a routine. My wife and I have a routine, and that routine has been thrown off at this point, right? Why has it been thrown off? Because she's out of town. Usually I do the cooking. She does the cleaning. She takes the baby. I take the older one. as I'm taking the older one, the little one's down, she's winding down her day and getting snuggled into bed. He and I are finishing up homework or going over spelling words. Well, what I didn't share with you yesterday is that there was a month-long project that we misread as parents, or really wasn't clear in the instructions, that we thought was done 2 weeks ago. And it was nowhere near finished. Just the beginning part was finished. We had to create a PowerPoint presentation for Black History Month, and it was due on Friday. So with the craziness of the baby not wanting to go down at his normal 6:30 time, he's been pushing it to 8. That takes away an hour and a half in the evening. I don't get the dedicated time with my son. And the weather had been horrible for weeks with rain, and we finally got some sun, and he's asking me to go to the park. He's been cabin fever like you wouldn't believe. So when he says, let's go to the park, and from the park, we're picking up his brother. From that, we're going and having dinner for both kids. The cleanup of the dinner, the baths, the changing of diapers, and getting ready for bed for both boys. Winding down with a little bit of TV. We watched, I didn't add this in the day before. My son discovered, I shared with him Rocky 1, and he thought it was awesome. So I told him at the end of Rocky 1 on Monday night, I said, listen, you want to watch Rocky 2? He's like, there's a Rocky 2? I said, I think there's Rocky 5. He's like, well, there's a day for each day of the week. Let's watch Rocky. So we crammed in a little Rocky while I was trying to get his brother down, which he's excited. I want to watch the end of Rocky, but we have a project to do. Mind you, my wife is on the other side of the Atlantic Ocean in France at this point, and we're not having a lot of communication just simply because of the time change in my workday. And it's the witching hour around 6 o'clock where a ton of stuff is going on. And she's like, can you talk now? And I'm like, I didn't even get to that text for 2 hours. So the next day she sends me a text and she's like, hey, when's a good time to talk? Do you have clients? What time are your clients today? And that's for tomorrow's podcast. But watch a little Rocky, and then we get in, and I'm like, listen, we need to get this project. We need a PowerPoint. It's Black History Month. He's doing a paper, PowerPoint, and a presentation on Michael Jordan. And I was like, listen, we already wrote this thing out, so we've kind of mapped it. We got to put it in a PowerPoint. But first, let's find some pictures around what we said. We get on the computer. We spend about 45 minutes finding about 10 or 12 different pictures. I'm allowing him to do the process, and then he's finally exhausted and wants to go down for bed. Listen, there is no downtime for a single parent. That's why I did my single parent podcast and acknowledge them and thank them for all that they do. I was essentially a single parent this week, and that's just Tuesday. I can't wait to tell you about the meltdown. There hadn't been a meltdown yet, but on Wednesday, tomorrow's episode, there's a meltdown. I don't know jack about parenting. I do know that I appreciate my wife more after this week than I ever had, because we never spent this much time apart, or I had never spent this much time apart. So we'll see you in tomorrow's episode.
Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.